Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 doo. Subscribe.
Right here.
28. What are we watching today?
Freaky.
Freaky. That's a Netflix film, right?
No,
No?
that's a real one.
Oh, right. With Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
So, Freaky is obviously the horror version of Freaky Friday, which I think there's like a version from like the 60s or 70s or something like that. I don't know too much about that one, but then I remember a version with Jamie Lee Curtis, and I think it was Lindsay Lohan came out. I remember the previews for that, but I was, I don't know, a little too old to watch that. I could have watched it, just didn't care to. But I do remember the previews pretty well. And then, yeah, what we have here is the horror version of that, where a young girl victim swaps bodies with a serial killer. And this has a more comedic tone to it. There's a lot of, obviously, again, it's sort of based off of Freaky Friday, but it also has a lot of like meta intertextual references to other horror films, which I don't think they necessarily needed to do because, or maybe shouldn't have done. I don't know. It would just be nice if like a horror film, and I know this one's like a comedy, would just try and stand on its own without winking to us or saying, hey, look, we've done our homework, or we know these movies and you know these movies too. I just think that would be kind of nice for a film to be its own thing. Again, I know it's based off of Freaky Friday, but I just think this could have had a little bit more power had they not tried to remind us so much of Friday the 13th or Halloween, you know, things like that. It doesn't take away too much, especially if you aren't familiar with those franchises. You wouldn't even think about it. Like the young generations that were probably watching this movie when it came out may not have even caught those things. But, you know, watching them and catching them, it's kind of like, all right, why can't you just be your own thing? Or be your own thing that's based off of Freaky Friday? Because I know it's already not its own thing because of what it's based off of. But even with those, I thought this movie was good. I like Vince Vaughn. He makes me laugh. I wish he was in more stuff. Probably, you know, getting older, has a family, just not as interested in acting anymore. Could be what's going on, but I've always thought like if I had to have like an actor's humor, it might be his, because I feel like it just works in general settings. Where like, what if you were Jim Carrey? You know, people would be like, what's with this guy? But like Vince Vaughn, I feel like is just kind of like a normal person who's funny, right? Just like you're the funniest guy or the eighth funniest guy in your high school, that sort of thing, like confident and funny. That would just be like a cool quality to have. You could walk into any place and sort of feel comfortable or bring comfort to the room. I feel like he's very good at that. And when he is playing the girl whose name is Millie, whose name is Millie, I feel like he does that. Obviously, when he's the serial killer, he's not that warm and like keeping the room calm, but he is that way when he's playing Millie. So I like that. I like seeing sort of a mixture of Vince Vaughn and the girl he's portraying. It's a good blend. And I thought he played her pretty convincingly. One thing I don't like about Shazam is that Shazam and the boy, Billy Batson, are not the same person. They are two completely different people. They're not acting the same way. Like, Shazam is like a moron. He's a complete idiot. And Billy Batson's like a functioning kid, you know? So it didn't really work. Where I feel like here, when they're swapping bodies, they did a great job. It's like they did their homework on how the other person was acting in the movie and decided to copy that style. So I think their body switching, personality switching, mannerism switching all worked out really well. Vince Vaughn's, I think, was maybe a little over the top. I shouldn't even say over the top, because that's not right. I feel like he was very close. Maybe just turned up to, like, let's say 10 is where it should have been. He turned it to 11. Which wasn't too high, right? It was like just a little bit, just for like humor's sake, I think. And I I think that worked. I don't know. I thought overall it was a fun movie. I just don't think they needed to wink to the camera, nod to other films as much. Just because I think it would have been nice if it was a little bit more of its own thing based off of Freaky Friday films. Is the original Freaky Friday called Freaky Friday? Or is that just the one with Jamie Lee Curtis and who I think Lindsay Lohan? Now I'm wondering if the original is called that. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. I'm not gonna edit this, so I'm not gonna look it up now. But if you know, let me know in the comments. I may have looked it up by the time I look at the comments, though. But I thought the movie was good. Watched it on HBO Max, so it's probably still. It will be there for a while, I'm guessing. So maybe you can catch it there. Also, maybe not. Let's say you watch this 5 years from now. Who knows if HBO Max will still be a thing? But I think it was fun. It's not something I'll probably watch again. Maybe I would. I don't know. Like if next year, if we're putting together our advent calendar and we're like, what do we put in? We can't think of anything. I might say Freaky. I think Freaky was pretty good. Good enough to, yeah. I was thinking I wouldn't need to watch it again, but I feel like I could very easily watch it again. Also, the tone shifted really quickly at the end. So when everything gets solved, you know, the movie has this ending where you're like, okay, they're setting up for a sequel, and then has sort of like this little tag scene at the end, and it gets very serious. Like the movie is pretty lighthearted and funny, but it gets really serious, and it's like, oh, now we're actually watching a horror film. This isn't fun and games and laughs anymore. And then I'm just gonna spoil it here. So big spoilers. 1, 2, 3 spoilers are coming at you right now. So turn it off if you don't want to hear them. They kill him at the end, and it is a successful, very clear kill. I mean, I guess there's some magic in the movie, so they can make it not a clear kill. But from what we saw, it looked like this is the end of the movie. They are not making sequels, which I thought was awesome. I loved that it was a clear death for Vince Vaughn's character as the serial killer, to where it was not open for sequels other than the fact that the body switching is a supernatural, so therefore he could be resurrected some way. But let's say that isn't happening. That death that he got suggests there will be no sequel, and I like that. Otherwise, yeah, I like this movie, and perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout. Actually, okay, I don't think I'm actually done, because there are some really strong stereotypes and tropes in this movie when it comes to, like, I guess it's still kind of like a nod to 80s and 90s movies. Like the main character, whose name I can't remember, she's in, or the what did I say her name? Millie, she likes this boy, and when she talks about the boy, like some person is like, hey, don't you like him or whatever? And then she's like, he doesn't even know I exist. And that was just like the most cliche, tropey, awful line ever. But I feel like the movie is in on the joke. That's all I wanted to say. There's some like bad stuff in it that I feel like is a callback to bad 80s and 90s movies that we all love. So that's all I wanted to point out. But now I think I am for sure done. Perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout. Doodle 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 doo. Subscribe.